Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Friday, and all of our guests today, including Dick Zokol, standing by, brought to you by our friends at the Bayside Oceanfront Resort. Looking for a midweek escape close to home? BC residents save 15% on weekday stays at Bayside and Parksville. Relax by the ocean, enjoy some great dining and wine with island hospitality. Maybe go for a long walk or two. Book now at BaysideResortParksville.com. Round 2 of the Masters, Justin Rose continues to lead. He's at -8, 1 stroke ahead of a surging Bryson DeChambeau. Joining us now to talk about the Masters from Predator Ridge, Dick Zokol. Dick, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
I am well. Thank you for the invitation. Love talking the Masters because it means it's springtime.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah.
Everybody feels the same way. Where's Justin Rose's game at age 44?
Well, interesting, and what's going to fall out of all this by the weekend, his game is excellent. At 44, he has the experience, and come Amen Corner on Sunday in the final round, things get a little tight around the collar. Those who have that experience, like Justin Rose, they're going to have an advantage because it's a pressure cooker situation, and you know, you have to plow through that very difficult psychological wall of pressure, expectations, and the major on the line, and we're going to get to see this all this unfold on over this weekend.
Yeah, and for Justin Rose, he has led or co-led after the first round 5 times in his career. Hasn't won yet. Highest finish, tied for 5th. I know it's obvious, Dick, but just how difficult is it to, and it's happened twice in the last 25 years, to stay in contention or to even win after leading in the first round, after the first round?
Well, if you have, like, he hasn't won the Masters, but he's won, you know, a major. He's won the U.S. Open, which is the exact same type of pressure. Yep. Where the real pressure is, it slides right on Rory McIlroy because of not only his expectations, but the world, everyone in the world. There's no doubt that Rory is by far the best player. Well, yeah, not by far. He's one of the best players in the world. The fact that he hasn't won a major in 14 years, and the fact that he hasn't won the Masters in particular, because it's the only major that he hasn't won that gives him the career Grand Slam. So these expectations are tremendous, and he hasn't been able to break this for over 14 years. So it's quite 10 years. Sorry about that. Yep. It's quite remarkable. So everyone is in this position, and whatever level you're at, even with Corey Connors, he's got to get to that next level and break through that wall, that psychological wall, to win his first major championship. It's very difficult.
Hey, Dick, Bryson DeChambeau was 4 off the lead after round 1. I'm looking right now. He's only 1 off the pace, 4 under after 10. I love watching this guy play the long game, but talk about him, and he's catching up to Rose. He's only 1 back, Dick.
And look out for Bryson DeChambeau, this guy who has made such a significant transition in his world to be likable. He you know, the manner in which he beat Rory last year in the U.S. Open at Pinehurst, it was very impressive. Now he's learned to play a game that no one else does. He's dug it completely out of the dirt, and he's, you know, paring it back to get more accuracy with his prodigious length. This guy, he's spending so much time in social media. Apparently, he's got, you know, up to 1 billion viewers on his YouTube channels and all that, and he's the happiest professional golfer in the world now. He is not burdened with this psychological barrier. He is a free customer, and it's showing. So he's going to be in the mix. There's no question about that.
Dick, let's obviously, you've already mentioned Corey Connors, but this morning he's 1 under after 3, 5 under for the tournament. He's only 4 back. And it's only Friday, but talk a little bit about what he's got to do the rest of this weekend. Dick.
Yeah, so he is knocking on the door. He's been knocking on the door for a bit. He is the best ball striker on the PGA Tour. He has established that. The concern I have about Corey is that he's a bit on the passive side. And what I want, he's knocking at the door. What I'd like to see him do, it's the switch in his mind. Instead of knocking on that door, instead of ringing that doorbell to get through that door, I want him to have a perspective. I'm going to knock this bloody door down.
Yeah.
And if anyone gets in front of me, they're going to get mowed over. So that is the next level of perception that I think he needs to get, because if you watch his body language, and if those putts start coming up short all the time, it means he's a bit tentative. I want something to snap in him where he says, hell with this. This is mine. I'm going to take it. And, don't get in my way or else I'll knock you over.
Well, with Rory McIlroy yesterday, you touched on his round, Dick, the double bogeys on 15 and 17, chipping issues. What did you see there?
Well, I see a lapse in mistakes. Like he's such a good player and he has such great length. Like if you watched it on the 15th hole, the par 5, he was over the green and he was chipping when that pin was on the front. And he chipped it into the water. Those are reckless mistakes. So he had that double bogey on 15, that double bogey on 17 to finish the round. That's 4 shots that he has to now make up. So in order to win for him, he's got to stop making those shot lost events. Play smart. Like don't go for those greens. He's showing patterns of playing more cautious, which I think he needs to do, because he's hemorrhaging shots far too much. And if he tightens it up and plays the way he's capable of doing. That's what he's doing right now. He's working with Dr. Bob Rotella, trying to get through this mental barrier. And what they've come out of it is he came out, he was asked what he's doing differently. And Rory came out and said, I'm chasing feelings on the golf course. So instead of being mindful of what this means, being result oriented, I want the result, an extrinsic result, he's pulling it into his internal feelings of perhaps what do I have to do to feel the proper speed or execute the proper putt. So this psychological thing that he's working on is, let's see if he's gaining traction. We get to witness it this whole weekend to see if he's comfortable or not.
That's way too deep for me. Hey, Dick, which of these two golf businesses have a better future, Live Golf or Tiger's TGL concept?
Oh, that's a heck of a good question.
Not bad,
because TGL, I mean, I think as things are settling, they're not getting the numbers. They're into it for about $3 billion as an investment. The Saudi sovereign public fund that's funding everything and they're stalled out with the PGA Tour. I think it was last week that Yasser El Rumayyan, the chairman of PIF, the Public Investment Fund of Saudi, proposed to the PGA Tour to invest an additional 1.5 billion, and he would, in part of the deal, he'd have to be co-chairman of the PGA Tour. And the PGA Tour declined him. So there's perhaps a turn of events that this isn't as urgent as the PGA Tour or Live wanted. But right now, it's interesting to see how it's going to be. TGL, I mean, I think it's good for the future of young players who want to see stars. Us old guys, to me, I want to watch a player play Pebble Beach and deal with the situation. I'm not interested in how someone hits a ball into a screen and what that means. But time is it's time to transition as well. Let's see what I think. Perhaps TGL may win that game in the long run, Donnie.
Yeah, and I think for Canadians, it would win the game in the long run, just because there seems to be a booming business these days. The indoor golf. Speaking of businesses, Predator Ridge. What's new?
Predator Ridge. Well, we're about 3 weeks ahead of schedule as far as spring comes. We've got new neighborhoods that we're opening with. So come on up. We want everyone to come up, take a look at, pop into the real estate sales center, and Claire Radford, myself, I'll give you a golf lesson right on the floor, right on the sales floor.
Dick, thanks so much for this. Have a great weekend watching the Masters.
Thanks, guys. Nice to be with you.